Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. In several recent live chats that I've done, some of you viewers have asked, Matt, could you do a quick cleaning video on a handgun so I can see what it's like? Well, I know that in the past I've already done that, but because you requested it, I'm just going to do a real quick cleaning of a handgun right now, live. So what I've done is I've kind of prepared everything. I have latex gloves because I'm going to be handling solvents and stuff. I have these wooden tips that I use to clean in tight little spaces. Get these real cheap off the internet. I've already set out my cleaning pads, again nothing special, that I'm using to run down the bore with. Nothing special at all. I just get this stuff as cheaply as I can off the web. I'm going to be using a Glock supplied cleaning rod because I'm dealing with a Glock 17. And I have a couple of solvents. One is frog lube and then the other is old-fashioned Hoppy's number 9. So let's just get right to it. Now I'm going to mention in advance that I've already cleared the area in which I am cleaning. So there are no magazines, there's no ammunition, there is nothing like that around. And you'd be surprised at the number of accidents that happen when cleaning, and that's because people make the assumption that a gun is actually empty. So here I have a Glock. There is no magazine in here whatsoever. There is nothing in that chamber. Now, one thing about a Glock, in order to go ahead and break it down, you have to pull the trigger. So there you go. Going to pull this back, move these wings down, and we'll get on with cleaning. So, slide comes off. First thing, though, I'm setting it down because I want to clean the frame first. And for that, I have a very well used toothbrush right here. And I just go ahead and scrub this, brush it, get off any kind of carbon buildup. And this does not damage any of my metal surfaces whatsoever. I have a cleaning cloth here and I'll just wipe this down. And yeah, I'm already getting grunge off of there. So this needed to be cleaned. And it looks pretty good. So as you can see, got a lot of junk off of there, and nice thing about having lights in here, that works. All right, now for the slide. Here's how I'm going to break down the slide. Take out the recoil spring assembly. Going to lay that on the bench. Going to remove the barrel very carefully. Going to lay that on the bench, and here is my slide. And since I've got the slide out, I'm just going to do basically the same thing as I did before, where I'm taking the toothbrush to it, get off carbon, and especially here on the breech face, this really helps to get debris off of the front of it. It works well, but you get in there without taking everything down all the way. Okay. So on this, I'm going to use a cleaning cloth. This is actually a patch for a 12 gauge shotgun, but I'm going to just go ahead and push it down in here. Get everything cleaned up real good. Try to get as much junk out as possible. And then I'm going to go down the inside of the rails on this slide. I'm going to actually use my thumbnail on this. Of course, up and down there on this side. I'll switch over to the next one. And yeah, rails are dirty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of frog lube and I'm going to hit this little cotton applicator And I'm going to use that to get down inside of these channels right here. Make sure that I get that, and then also go down the rails on both sides. Touch up here on the inside, breech face. And yeah, I got some junk off of there. So that's good. I'm going to go back over it with this cloth, do everything as rapidly as I can to make sure that I don't miss anything, so I can get that solvent off of there. And this all seems to be coming together and working out well. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to take the recoil spring assembly and basically just hit this with some frog lube. Now this is the solvent, and I'm just going to put it into this cloth, and I'm going to spin it. And then I'm going to take a thumbnail, put in here as I'm rotating around, and just the natural coil on that spring is letting it travel. Clean this up. Actually, not too shabby. Lay this down. All right, next we're moving on to the barrel. Before I even do anything with the barrel, I'm going to take, again, my trusty little toothbrush. I'm going to hit the feed ramp, make sure that I get this all nice and clean and decarboned, because you get a lot of carbon fouling and buildup right there. Okay, we'll kind of give it the old white glove test a little bit. Not too bad. Oh yeah, that bore needs a little bit of work. So, a couple of squirts of the frog lube. Let it run down that barrel. Here's where I'm going to use the Glock cleaning rod. And I use this a lot because I really like it. It works great. And so anything that I have in 9mm or even 45 ACP, I use it. So basically, I'm always coming down here from the breech and out the front. So this, hopefully you can see it. Make a few passes through here. All right. So now I'm just going to twist this off, and I'm going to run a patch through it. So here I've got a patch that is for 9mm, and I'm just going to fold that up, fit it through. A little bit hard to do sometimes with gloves on, so eventually you can get there. All right, so here we go. Going to go ahead and pass it down through. Again, coming through from the breech first. Okay, that works. I like to twist it here inside of where the main chamber is, just simply to get out anything else. So that looks pretty clean to me. Next thing that I'm going to do is, since I've already got this dirty and it has the frog lube on it, I'm going to wipe down the outside of the barrel. Also, holding onto the barrel really good, because you definitely don't want to drop this during the cleaning process. Normally I would be standing above the bench. Unfortunately, if I were to drop something right here, I'd probably have to replace the barrel. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to run a oiled patch through it. So I'm going to take the cleaning rod, put in a fresh patch, and I'm going to run this fresh patch down through the barrel, except I'm going to put oil on it. So here I've got good old Hoppy's number 9, and I'm just going to get a little bit of oil on here, let that soak in, and then run this down through the barrel until I get a clean patch. Same kind of method as I've got going on before. Because I tend to maintain my guns pretty well, I don't get too much buildup, and I run a lot of clean burning ammo, like the Federal clean fire stuff, and that definitely helps to keep the barrel way cleaner, especially, you know, with 9mm. So here goes a clean patch, completely dry. Let's see what we got. Hopefully you can see all that. Looks pretty good. Pass it through another time. Check it out. I'd say that that's a clean patch. So we are good to go there. So now what I need to do is I need to think about reassembly. So the first thing that I will do is, again, I'm going to take my Hoppy's lube and I'm going to lubricate the slide. So I'm going to get the rails just a little bit. Get that oil running down the rail. And I'm going to put just a touch on this ramp, because this thing's been shot enough that the copper lube from Glock is now gone. And so I'm just going to put a touch of oil right there. And that's where this handy little applicator comes in nicely, because I can just spread it around, make sure that we get good coverage, but we don't get everything too nasty. The other thing that I want to do is, typically my habit is, I'm going to put a little bit of oil right here, because this sees mechanical wear because of the reciprocating slide. So I'm going to put a drop of oil. There we go. I'm going to take my clean patch, basically just spread it around on there, on that surface. Not quite enough. Yeah, now we're getting there. Okay, hopefully the camera will show you a little bit of shine right in here, and that's the oil. So I've got that there. Next, I'm moving on to the barrel. So I'm going to put a little bit of lubricant on the barrel itself, and I'm simply going to encircle it. I want to make sure, and this is just me, that I get lubricant right here, and I also get it right inside of there. For that purpose, what I have set up is I will just take this, put a drop right there, let it run down inside. That looks good. I think that we're pretty much good to go. So reassemble, feed this back in, take a look at it. Actually, I want to put just a touch more oil right there. Not even a drop, just a bare hint of it. Put in the recoil spring assembly. And last but not least, I'm going to lubricate right here, and I'm going to call it good. And when in doubt on anything, talk to your local gunsmith, or actually take it into a gunsmith and have them do it for you. And final, I'm going to put just a drop right there. Put it back together. Seems to function all right. And there you have it. Pretty quick cleaning. Let's see, 15 minutes, not quite as quick as I would like it to be, but that's what you asked for. And that is a sample cleaning of how I will do a cleaning on one of my Glocks. So there you have it. When I'm done with everything, I just clean up my bench, make sure that everything is disposed of properly, take off the gloves, we call it a day. So there you go. Hopefully this answered some of your questions, but that's about as quick of a cleaning job as I can do and explain it at the same time. So until next time, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for asking questions like this. And by all means, thank you again. Everybody, you take care, have a good one, and of course, be safe out there.